proteins, fats, and carbs. Set your macronutrients up right to get the results that you want. Whether burning fat or building muscle, you need to get your calories in from the right sources, and this is what I'm going to show you today. Where your calories are coming from and the foods you eat has a huge response on your hormonal environment and body's ability to get the job done, and this is what I'm going to show you today. We can use a gram per kilo or per pound equation and also a percentage-based reasoning to set your macronutrients up. I think both are important and both have their pros and cons, and a good coach will always know how to use both to fast track your results. So let me give you those insights. I start off by setting your protein goal being your daily protein intake with a body weight calculation, and this is usually set between 1 and 1.5 grams per pound of body weight. By protein being of first importance and by doing it right, you can avoid muscle loss and also metabolic slowdown. Secondly, I set fat between 15 to 25% of your total calorie intake. You need a certain amount of fat for important metabolic processes and for general health and performance as well. Your fat should be coming from great sources such as omega-3s, coconut oil, macadamia oil, avocado, olive oil, and even raw nuts. And once you have your protein and fat sorted, you fill the rest of your calories up with your carbohydrate amount. Now this isn't perfect, but it's a great starting point as you need to start taking the best steps forward and always getting the progress that you want. It's not about getting the one perfect diet straight off the bat for yourself, but more about having progress all the way through in small stages. And there's so many ranges that I've just given you with your protein, fats, and carbs, and this comes down to your metabolic capacity and metabolic flexibility. If you're not able to handle carbohydrates well, that means you're just going to have to bring them back down and increase your fats to still get the same calorie intake. But if you're efficient and insulin sensitive, that means your carbs can be higher, and most likely they're going to need to be for you to get the progress. So by a general rule, if you're not lean, then you're not going to be very insulin sensitive and not able to have a lot of carbohydrates without putting on the pudge. Other variables that matter with putting together the diet that's going to work for you include your dieting history, your metabolism, your hormonal environment such as your insulin, leptin, cortisol, testosterone, and more, and also other factors. Even things like stress levels and toxicity come into the equation with how your body's going to react with the foods that you're eating. So now, using this episode and the one before with knowing the amount of calories to eat, you can combine both of them to set a great foundation for the diet that you want to be able to burn fat or build muscle. But I'm also going to add a special caveat. Just because you've got your calories and your macros set out, food choices is extremely important. Now, I'm going to be realistic. Between 5 to 10% of your total food intake, I do think it should come from things such as slutty foods, but the rest should be great quality, nutrient-dense foods that are going to nourish and feed your body right. Now be sure to subscribe, as next up I'm going to be teaching you how meal frequency and nutrient timing come into the equation to really fast track your results.